Good morning. Welcome to my favourite office, the woods. I've just come from my morning walk this morning. I would like to share with you this morning about my new program that I'm just starting to introduce. I'm just starting to talk about at the moment. When the ideas started coming in for my new program, I had two questions, two answers kind of coming to me. So the first was, where do I meet my soul clients now? What is it that my soul clients need? And the answer to that was energy. So energy alignment, nervous system regulation, helping my soul clients to come out of anxiety, overwhelm, certainly catching if we feel like we're, heading into burnout, and really coming into this space of regulated alignment, and coming into this space of really understanding our own energy and what it is that we specifically need for us, not dependent on anybody else, what anybody else is doing. And then the second question, and the answer that came with that second question is, and what message do I really need to share? And the answer made me chuckle, because it was, don't do what you're told. So this program, I'm going to teach you how to not do what you're told. There's obviously a serious side to that, and I'll come into that. And this is something that I've had to really deeply learn, coming out of our kind of social conditioning, even the industry standard conditioning. So we're going to talk a bit more about that. But this program, it's part of my wider Arise Mastermind, which is all about, coming back into us and being us and expanding from that space, coming into our inner peace and freedom. This program is specifically for highly driven women who feel like, they've got too many plates spinning, too many hats on. They may be, or you may be feeling, fairly successful already, but that success doesn't feel sustainable. You're feeling the overwhelm, the push. You may be at the start of your business journey as well, but it's the key thing is that you're feeling like something's off. You're feeling like this space, in this space of overwhelm, or you keep hitting that space of overwhelm and stuckness. That was certainly a huge part of my journey. I mean, all of this is obviously where I've come from. And it's about helping us to focus on the things that are absolutely key for us, regardless of what anybody else is doing, regardless of the industry standards of you must do this, you've got to, you should do, you have to, anything that we're using those words for, and they feel, throw them out. So this is about, helping women who are highly driven, but in that space of just feeling like something's off and keep coming into these cycles of overwhelm. And it's about realigning, understanding our true essence, realigning to our true self, so that we can come into a space of creating our own aligned, abundant, joyful future. Again, regardless of what anybody else is doing, making sure that we are creating our success in a way that is in a definition that's right for us, our success and abundance, but also a way that is truly right for us, for our body, for our soul as well. So this is going to be a fairly sort of short video, but I'm just going to relate my story back to this. So I'm just going to talk about how I felt, my processes, and the lessons that I learnt with all of this. So how I felt was, I was in my third year of business. I had worked with various coaches, mentors, enjoyed those spaces very much. I had joined programs, I'd done a huge amount of healing. I started my healing back in 2006, so I'd done a huge amount of healing by the time I got to my third year of business. However, I just felt different. I felt like I couldn't do the things that were expected of me, you know, in quote marks, to be successful. I felt like there was something that I needed to understand to be able to work differently, because my body was not, you know, responding. Was not responding. Everything was kind of shutting down as well. The energies were all shutting down. Money blocks were very much there. You know, there was all sorts happening for me, but I very much felt like I kept going back into these overwhelm cycles, you know, and getting stuck. So I'd really enjoy, you know, working with a particular coach, for example, but I would then come into this space again of feeling stuck and feeling overwhelmed and needing to stop. So it was kind of that stop start all the time. What I understood was that actually I was working very much against my body, my energetics, what I specifically needed, and I needed to approach these things in a different way. So I was feeling like I kept coming back into this overwhelm, but I was feeling like I just had this intuitive feeling that I had to work very differently. I needed to work very differently to what I was being told, you know, and what the industry standards are. We see so many rules of you have to, must do, should do all these things, you know, and honestly, a lot of them are not aligned for me. You know, I've needed to understand my true essence, what I need to be able to then come into how do I focus, what do I need to focus my energy on, how do I need to be first to then be able to create my success, expand in a way that is right for me as opposed to the norm, you know, society's rules, industry standards rules, coaching rules as we see out there, you know. And this is about energy and strategy. So this is, you know, we are looking at the masculine and the feminine energies here, in terms of we're looking at, you know, how our energy needs to be aligned, but then also taking aligned action. But it all has to be very linked up. Now, I'm a projector and a quadrite. When you join the program, you don't necessarily need to be a particular human design type or have particular variables. You know, that doesn't need to come into play. But what I am noticing is that I'm having lots of conversations with either projectors or quadrites. You know, they're coming into my space. So if you you know, if you're particularly resonating with this, and you are a projector, a quadrite, or both even, you know, then there could well be, I'm sure there will be some things, you know, for us to look into together on this. So that was how I felt. The process that I needed to take was actually to really, really slow things down, by which I mean, you know, creating space, creating time, investing those things in myself, in my time, in my energy, in my space, to be able to actually to be able to focus on what it was that I needed to be, essentially, and the things that I needed to kind of focus on so that I could progress. Because I kept trying various things, and what I came to realize was that, you know, even in programs that I loved, even working with coaches that I loved, there was a certain element of push that I was creating myself, that was actually going against what my body needed, what my nervous system needed. So I was coming into this space where I was triggering and re-triggering my nervous system, you know, my body, myself, not feeling safe, which was taking me into that overwhelm. So the lessons that I learned was absolutely to be me, you know, redefine what success meant to me. And for me, it was putting those building blocks of inner peace, freedom, space, embodying that, and then building from that point, you know, taking the money focus, which again is an industry standard that we see a lot at the moment. I needed to take the money focus out, so that I could redefine what success truly meant for me. And as I say, that's that space of inner peace, freedom, you know, spaciousness, being able to have the freedom to create a life that I love and one that works, you know, amazingly well for myself and my son, and for, you know, family. So I needed to do that. I needed to go against actually a lot of the, you know, social conditioning that we learn, which is quite normal because, you know, that is how we learn to be as we go through schools, you know, uni maybe, corporate jobs. I had to unpick a lot of that. There's been a lot of experimenting and tweaking and retweaking on this journey, a lot of healing as well, a lot of deconditioning. And that is what I'm bringing to this program. You know, there's my healing journey alone has been almost, you know, 2 decades of healing from, you know, dipping into different things. I bring all the modalities into my programs that have created huge change for me. So my work's all about transformation and change, but coming into this beautiful stillness. So the program is essentially working with kind of 3 elements, which is embracing our true selves, you know, who we truly are at our true energetic level, our true essence, embodying our incredible gifts that we already have within us. You know, we can use our human design chart, our gene keys chart, to come into this space to really deeply understand who we are. And embodying those gifts is really, really important, you know. So embodying this space of, well, our gifts, but also our space of feeling at peace, you know, coming into this surrender and being very careful that we're not just talking about being surrendered, we're actually truly feeling it in our body. And then the third E that I talk about as part of this program and part of Arise is expand. So this is, you know, how do we need to expand in a way that is truly right for us, you know, for our nervous system, based on what we've lived through. You know, my body, my nervous system had come from a space of childhood trauma. So there was a lot. I'd done a huge amount of healing, but there was still, you know, I still needed to take that into account when I came into how do I expand in the best way for me specifically. So hence my don't do anything that we're told at the start of this. You know, this is about tearing up the rule books, ignoring everybody else's rules, and actually come into the space of, okay, this is me. This is me. Who am I? Who am I here to be? Who am I here to serve? What am I here to do? What's my purpose? And actually, how do I do that in the best way for me? You know, and when we're in this space of aligned energy, you know, nervous system regulation, when we're in that delicious space, that is, of course, when everything opens up. You know, our clients are going to be magnetized to us, abundance is going to flow to us, you know, and it's about refocusing our energies, really, and using those energies in the best way for us. So, have I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about there? I think so. So I am at the moment, I'm running complimentary alignment sessions, so we can have a quick catch up on, you know, where you are now, where you want to be, but actually what's holding you back at the moment, so you can get a feel for, you know, where you might want to start your focus. And you are more than welcome to DM me to get a link for one of those complimentary alignment sessions. I was going to say something here, or just DM me if you want. equally, if you want to ask any questions, please do drop them in the comments. DM me through Facebook Messenger is the best way to get hold of me. I was going to say something else. And, you know, with all of my work, I never ever do this bums on seats bit. You know, this is about truly getting to know, you know, whenever I chat with somebody, it's about making sure that, you know, we are a good fit to work together, we're the right fit to work together. So there's never any, you know, pressure in any of that either. But what I am really keen to, you know, get across is that none of my work is about a bums on seats, you know, purely I'm going to make this much money this month, so let's get as many people into my program as possible. That is not, absolutely not what I'm about. This is about, you know, deep personalized support so that you can create a life that works, and a business obviously that works for you, that you love, so that you can create your own space, freedom, surrender, trust, you know, just this wonderful kind of openness to receiving. So if you would like to have a further chat about any of this, if you would like to book a complimentary alignment session with me, just DM me through Facebook Messenger, Anna Rushmer, and I will catch up with you there. So I send you lots of love, and I hope you are enjoying this beautiful